If you don't fight for your dream, who will? Let me ask you a question that can change the way you see your life from this moment forward. If you don't fight for your dream, who will? No, really, look in the mirror and ask yourself, who's going to do it if not you? See, when we're young, we dream big. We dream without limits. We imagine changing the world, becoming someone powerful, someone admired, someone unstoppable. But somewhere along the way, we start listening to the wrong voices. You know those voices? Don't aim too high. Play it safe. Don't stand out. And slowly, we start shrinking, not because we're weak, but because we start believing those lies. We stop fighting, we stop trying, we begin to survive instead of live. But let me remind you of something the world often forgets. Your dream was given to you, only you, not to your friends, not to your parents, not to your boss or your teacher. You, that dream inside you, it's not random, it's not a coincidence, it was planted there for a reason. And if you don't protect it, feed it, fight for it, no one else will. So many people are walking around today like ghosts, alive, but not really living, because they gave up on the one thing that once lit their soul on fire. And maybe you're one of them. Maybe life knocked you down. Maybe you failed more times than you can count. Maybe people laughed at you, called you crazy, told you to let it go. So you did. You let it go. But I have news for you. It's not too late to fight for it again, because a dream doesn't die when the world laughs at it. It dies when you stop believing in it. You might not have the support. You might not have the money. You might not even have the confidence. But what you do have is a choice. And that choice is simple. Will you fight for it, or will you let it slip away? See, when you stop fighting for your dream, every day you choose fear over action, that dream dies a little more. And do you know what's even more dangerous than failure or regret? Regret is the slowest, most painful kind of death. It's waking up one day at 40, 50, 60, looking back and asking, what if I had just tried? What if I had just believed in myself one more time? What could I have become? But let's flip that. Let's imagine something better. Let's imagine waking up 5 years from now and seeing your dream in motion, not because it was easy, not because it was perfect, but because you never gave up on it. You see, success doesn't belong to the smartest or the richest or the most connected. It belongs to the ones who are willing to fight longer, harder, and with more heart than anyone else. And fighting for your dream doesn't mean shouting from rooftops. It means staying focused when the world is distracted. It means working late while others sleep. It means believing in yourself even when nobody else does. There will be rejection. There will be people who don't understand your dream. There will be failure guaranteed. But none of that defines you. What defines you is how many times you get back up. What defines you is whether you choose comfort or the climb. Because here's the truth, nobody owes you your dream. Nobody is coming to hand it to you. If you want it, you have to fight for it. And that fight, it's not a one-day event. It's every single morning you get up and show up when it's hard, when it's boring, when it feels like nothing's working. That's the real fight. And maybe right now you feel small. You feel tired. You feel like you don't have what it takes, but you do. You wouldn't have the dream if you didn't already have what it takes to build it. You might not be ready yet, but readiness is a lie. Nobody's ready at the start. They become ready by taking action. So take one step, send that email, write that first page, launch that idea, go to the gym, record that video, take the class, whatever it is, do something. Because momentum creates magic. You don't need a 10-year plan. You need today, this hour, this moment. Start where you are with what you have, because your dream doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. You don't have to convince everyone. You don't have to beg for support. You just have to show up again and again and again, because one day the world will notice. They'll ask you how you did it. They'll say you're lucky. They'll tell you they always believed in you, and you'll smile because you'll know you were the only one fighting for that dream when nobody else saw it. So let me ask you again, if you don't fight for your dream, who will? The answer is simple. No one. It's on you. And that's the best news of all, because it means you don't have to wait on anyone. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need the perfect moment. All you need is to decide. And once you do that, once you commit to the fight, the dream isn't just possible. It becomes inevitable. Let people doubt you. It's fuel, not failure. Let's get one thing straight. People will doubt you. And that's not a problem. That's fuel. When you choose to chase something bigger than yourself, when you decide to step off the beaten path and walk your own road, people will stare, they'll question, they'll criticize, they'll whisper behind your back, and sometimes even to your face. Why are you doing that? Do you really think it's going to work? You're wasting your time. Who do you think you are? And here's the dangerous part. Sometimes those voices don't come from strangers. They come from the people you love most, your friends, your family, the ones who say they care about you. And maybe they do, but their fear isn't yours. Their doubt isn't your truth. You have to understand something. Most people see the world through the lens of their own limitations. When someone tells you, it can't be done. What they're really saying is, I don't believe I could do it, so they project that fear onto you. But just because they can't see the vision doesn't mean the vision isn't real. You don't need their eyes, you need your fire. Listen, doubt is part of the process. It's the price of ambition. Nobody doubts people doing nothing. Nobody questions those who play it safe. Nobody talks about the one who blends in. But the moment you rise, the moment you declare, I want more, I was made for more, that's when the doubters show up. Good, let them come, because doubt is a sign that you're doing something bold. It means you're waking people up. You're making them uncomfortable, not because you're wrong, but because your courage reminds them of what they gave up on. Sometimes your dream becomes a mirror, and when people look at it, they don't see you, they see themselves, their fears, their regrets, their potential that they never pursued. And that reflection is hard to face. So instead of cheering for you, they challenge you. Instead of supporting you, they silence you. But here's the truth. You don't need to explain your dream to people who weren't given the vision. Stop trying to convince them. Stop wasting energy defending your ambition. You don't need their belief to make progress. You need your belief. That's it. Your dream isn't a democracy. It doesn't need a vote. It needs you to fight for it, whether the world understands it or not. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Let them call you unrealistic, because one day they'll see the results. And when they do, they'll say, I always knew you could do it. But you'll know. You'll remember the lonely nights, the silent mornings, the sacrifices, the pain, the doubt you carried alone. And you'll smile, not because they believe now, but because you never needed them to in the first place. You believed when it was hard. You kept going when no one clapped. You trusted the vision when no one else could see it. That's power. That's discipline. That's faith. And here's the secret nobody talks about. The more you succeed, the more they'll forget they ever doubted you. But don't build your foundation on their delayed applause. Build it on your work ethic. Build it on your consistency. Build it on your unshakable mindset. Because when you become unshakable, no doubt in the world can move you. You'll reach a point where the noise of opinions becomes background static, where your passion is louder than their sarcasm, where your mission is stronger than their mockery. And here's what makes it all worth it. Every time someone says, you can't, and you choose to keep going, you become unstoppable. Because now it's not just about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right. You don't rise because they believe in you. You rise because you refuse to sit back down. So let people doubt you. Let them stare. Let them whisper. You don't owe them understanding. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself the chance to see what happens if you don't give up. Remember this, the biggest breakthroughs often come right after the biggest doubts, right after the world tells you to stop, right after the closest people say, maybe it's time to let it go. That moment, the one where everything feels heavy and hopeless, that's the moment most people quit. Don't quit. Keep building, keep working, keep believing. Because the dream isn't waiting for their approval. It's waiting for your persistence. So when they doubt you, smile, say thank you, and let their doubt become the gasoline that fuels your journey. Because someday they won't doubt you anymore. They'll study you, they'll quote you, they'll try to follow your steps, but they'll never be able to recreate your story because they didn't believe when it mattered most. You did. Motivation fades. Discipline is what builds legends. Let's get honest. Motivation feels good. It's electric. It's that fire in your chest when you hear a great speech, when you read something powerful, when someone tells you, you can do this. It's that moment you feel unstoppable, like you could move mountains, like you could take over the world. And then the feeling disappears. You wake up the next day, it's cold. You're tired, life hits, and suddenly that spark is gone. Now here's where most people lose. They think they need motivation to act. They wait for it to come back. They think something's wrong when they don't feel inspired. But here's the truth. Successful people understand motivation fades. Discipline builds legends. Discipline is what steps in after motivation walks out, because success doesn't care how you feel. Your goals don't ask if you're tired. Your dream doesn't pause because you're having a bad day. Discipline is showing up anyway, every day, especially on the days you don't want to. And that's where most people fail. Not because they're weak, not because they're not talented, but because they only move when it feels good. But let me ask you something real. Do you want to feel good for a moment, or do you want to be great for a lifetime? Anyone can act when they're inspired, but the real champions, they show up when they're exhausted, when it's raining, when nobody's watching, when nothing seems to be working. They show up not because it's easy, but because they've trained themselves to. Discipline is a muscle, and every time you use it, it grows. It grows in the silence, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the gym when it's empty, at the desk when everyone else is out having fun. It grows in the quiet grind that no one applauds, but everyone notices eventually. Motivation might get you started, but discipline, That's what keeps the engine running when the fire burns out. You want to build something great, stop waiting for the mood to strike. Create your schedule and honor it. Set your plan and follow through. You won't always feel inspired. You won't always feel confident. You won't always feel ready. That doesn't matter. You don't need the emotion. You need the action. Action creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence sustains progress, but it starts with doing the work when you don't feel like it. Think of the most successful people you admire. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists. Do you think they're motivated every day? Not a chance. But they trained themselves to move anyway. They turned action into habit. They made discipline their foundation. Discipline is not about perfection. It's not about being a robot. It's about refusing to let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. It's about saying, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. That's the line between average and excellence. Discipline is what gets you up at 5 a.m. It's what keeps you going when the money's not coming in. It's what keeps you writing when the words aren't flowing. It's what makes you practice the same move 1,000 times when nobody sees it. Because discipline knows the truth. The work you do in silence becomes the success they talk about out loud. You don't need applause. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need inspiration every second. You just need to be consistent. You want to become a legend? Here's the formula: small actions, repeated daily. Don't even when it's hard. That's it. That's the secret. Set your routine, stick to it. Don't negotiate with your emotions. Don't debate with your doubts. Just show up, because the quiet, boring, lonely days, they're not wasted. They're compounding. One disciplined day doesn't change your life, but 30, 90, 365, that changes everything. 1 hour of discipline is worth 10 hours of emotional hype. Discipline doesn't need hype. It creates results, and those results become confidence, and that confidence becomes momentum, and that momentum, that's when everything changes. Motivation can start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. So if you're tired of starting over, if you're tired of stopping and starting, if you're tired of feeling stuck, or train yourself to be disciplined. Get up earlier, show up anyway. Say no to excuses, say yes to habits. Stop waiting for motivation to rescue you. It's not coming, but your discipline, that's already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. So from this day forward, say this to yourself: I will not be controlled by my feelings. I will be guided by my commitment. I will move with discipline whether I feel like it or not. That's how legends are built. That's how dreams are made real. Comfort is killing your future. Let's talk about something that's silently robbing people of their dreams. It's not fear, it's not failure, it's not even rejection, it's comfort. Yes, comfort is killing your future. Comfort feels good, doesn't it? The warm bed in the morning, the easy job with a steady paycheck, the weekend spent relaxing, the scrolling, the binge watching, the I'll start tomorrow. Comfort is quiet, it's polite. It doesn't shout at you, it whispers, you've done enough, you deserve to rest. 1 more hour won't hurt. You can always chase the dream later, but here's the truth: comfort is a liar. Because what it gives you in the moment, it steals from you in the long run. You say, just 1 more hour of sleep, and comfort says, sure. But that 1 hour becomes a habit. That habit becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle, it becomes regret. See, comfort isn't bad in small doses, but when it becomes your default, it becomes your prison. It locks you into average. It chains you to mediocrity, because nothing great grows in comfort. Your dream, it doesn't live on your couch. It doesn't hang out on Netflix. It doesn't wait around until you feel ready. Or your dream lives in discomfort. It lives in early mornings, in long nights, in the gym when your body aches, at the desk when your mind is tired, in the studio when no one is watching, in the failure, the frustration, the fight. That's where the dream grows. But here's what most people don't realize: the more you choose comfort now, the more pain you'll feel later. Not physical pain, but the pain of unrealized potential, the pain of what if, the pain of I could have been more. And that pain, it doesn't go away. It lingers, it sits with you, it haunts you, it becomes the background music of your life. Because deep down, you know, you didn't give your all, you settled, you played it safe, you let comfort win. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can flip the script right now, today. You can choose the harder path, the one with resistance, the one with early alarms, sore muscles, missed parties, and lonely hours. Because that path leads somewhere. It leads to growth. It leads to transformation. It leads to a version of you that doesn't settle, but soars. And let's be clear, you're going to lose people when you leave comfort behind. Friends will say, you've changed. Family will say, why are you doing all this? Strangers will laugh, mock, doubt. Let them. Because you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it for the person you're becoming. You're doing it for the life you know is possible. And yes, it will hurt. You'll miss out. You'll be tired. You'll want to quit. But here's the gift in discomfort. It makes you stronger. It sharpens your discipline. It builds your resilience. It develops your character. The very things comfort never gives you. You start to realize it was never about ease. It was about evolution. Discomfort teaches you. pushes you, forces you to become the version of yourself capable of holding the dream. Comfort only teaches you how to stay the same. So let me ask you, what has comfort cost you already? How many ideas have you delayed? How many workouts skipped? How many opportunities passed by while you said, maybe later? And how much longer are you going to let comfort run the show? Because here's the deal. You can choose comfort now and pay with regret later, or you can choose discomfort now and earn pride later. It's your life, it's your dream, and no one else is coming to do it for you. The world isn't going to hand it to you because you deserve it. You have to work for it, sacrifice for it, hurt for it, grow for it. You have to decide right now, will I protect my comfort or will I protect my future? Because you can't have both. One of them has to go. So make the choice. Get up earlier, stay up later, say no to distractions, say yes to growth, step into discomfort, not because it feels good, but because it leads somewhere. And one day, when the dream becomes real, when you look back on the climb, you'll be glad you didn't take the easy road. You'll be proud, not just of the results, but of who you became in the process. So if comfort is calling, ignore it, turn down the volume, lock the door, because your dream is out there waiting, but only for the version of you willing to be uncomfortable enough to chase it. And that's how your future self will look back and say, I'm proud because I didn't quit when it got hard. I showed up, and that made all the difference. The dream takes time. Be patient, not passive. In today's world, everyone wants it fast. Fast money, fast fame, fast results. But real dreams, they don't work like that. They take time, they take sacrifice, they take relentless patience. And no one wants to hear that. We live in a generation addicted to speed. Scroll, swipe, click, next, now, instant. So when the dream takes longer than expected, people quit. But listen to me clearly. Just because it's not happening fast doesn't mean it's not happening. You plant a seed today, you don't get fruit tomorrow. You water it, you care for it, you wait, you stay consistent. And beneath the surface, something powerful is taking root. The foundation is forming. Your mindset is strengthening. Your habits are locking in. Your vision is becoming real. But most people never see it because they give up during the silent season. They walk away when there's no applause. They stop when results don't come quick. They abandon the dream because they confuse patience with failure. But patience is not weakness. Patience is not laziness. Patience is power. It's knowing this, the goal is still alive. The work is still working. The dream is still growing, even if you can't see it yet. And there's a difference between being patient and being passive. Passive means you wait and do nothing. You daydream. You wish, you scroll. You tell yourself maybe someday, but never move. Patience means you show up every single day. You do the work. You learn. You build. You trust the process even when the process is quiet. And that's what makes the difference. Too many people quit at 80%. They say, maybe it wasn't meant for me, not realizing they were almost there. So let me say it again. The dream takes time. And the bigger the dream, the longer the journey. Not because it's impossible, but because you're becoming the person who can handle it. Success isn't just about achievement, it's about transformation. You want the results, but are you ready for the responsibility? You want the spotlight, but can you carry the weight? You want the reward, but have you built the roots? Because without roots, the tree collapses. You don't build a skyscraper overnight. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation. Same with your dream, same with your legacy. If it comes quick, it goes quick. But if you earn it, it lasts. And trust me, the dream knows when you're serious. It watches how you act when no one is watching. It tests your patience. It checks your discipline. It waits for you to prove that you're ready, not just inspired. So don't be discouraged by the wait. The wait is building you. The wait is teaching you. The wait is preparing you for what's next. Don't rush the masterpiece. Let it form. Let it mature. Let yourself grow. There will be days when you feel stuck, when nothing's working, when the world feels silent. That's not failure. That's preparation. And the breakthrough, it often comes just after the breakdown, right after the doubt, right after you almost walked away. So hold the line. Wake up one more day. Try one more time. Write one more page. Make one more call. Keep showing up even when it feels slow. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. That's what makes the dream real. Because while the rest of the world is chasing speed, you'll be chasing greatness, and greatness, that takes time. But when it arrives, it stays, it sticks, it defines you. Not just because of what you achieved, but because of what you became while you waited. So be patient, be committed, be consistent, and most importantly, don't stop. Because someday when it all comes together, when the results finally show, you'll look back and thank yourself for not quitting in the slow season. Remember, the dream takes time, but time rewards those who refuse to give up.